Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a speculative video about what if I was starting over with income investing. I had a set amount of funds and I really wanted to generate a high sustainable amount of income to supplement my current paycheck or my current lifestyle through a small-ish investment into some ETFs or funds. So before we jump into this, guys, as always, not financial advice. Do your own research before making any investment decisions. Having said all that, you guys, we're going to play around kind of with not a small amount of money, but as far as getting financial freedom, we're going to play about $100,000. And really, it's not enough to generate financial freedom for most people. But I want to show you in this video how it could be enough to supplement a paycheck or retirement plan using some high yield ETFs. So the first one I want to look at here is HDIV from Hamilton ETFs, about a 10% yield. But the reason why I would include this one is because you get very diversified exposure to a lot of different stocks and sectors. You can see here the top ETF that it holds is HFIN at 20%, and there is no covered calls. That is just dividends on Canadian financials and banks. And then throughout this ETF, you also see it holds energy, it holds gold producers, has some diversified technology, utilities, and then it has some of those Daymax ETFs just to bump that yield up slightly. But again, guys, very well diversified. Another reason why I like it, over 1.4 billion AUM. So very, very popular, well diversified. This fund is not going anywhere. It's also rated as a risk rating medium. So I would want this maybe not as my core position in a small portfolio because we are looking at generating high income, but I do want this for that diversification throughout Canada, the financials, utilities, all that stuff, as well as HDIV has that natural growth history. So we don't have to really worry about reinvesting back into this one because looking forward, eventually this ETF just has a great track record of growing the dividends naturally over time. So that would be my first pick. And then my next pick is going to have to be HHIS from Harvest ETFs. So this one's about a 30% yield. It also pays monthly. So we've got two monthly payers. And with this one, it is basically strictly focused on technology and even some crypto stocks. So we've got some cryptocurrency companies like MicroStrategy, but you've got some big players like Broadcom, Nvidia, you've got Apple and Amazon, Alphabet, Eli Lilly, you've got Tesla in there, Costco, Meta, and then you've got some of the newer ones like Palantir and Coinbase, Circle, CrowdStrike, MicroStrategy. Okay, so it is diversified, but basically it is all in sort of the technology space and some crypto. However, with that, you do get a much higher yield. We're looking at close to 30%. So what I've done is taken those two funds with that $100,000 investment, and this is how I've allocated it. 75,000 into HHIS and 25,000 into HDIV. And with that, you can see right away we're generating about $24,000 per year. So that's about $2,000 a month just off of that $100,000. So that's 2,000 extra dollars a month that could top up a paycheck or supplement a retirement portfolio, anything like that. Again, you guys, this is a $100,000 investment. So it is a substantial amount of money, but really when we're looking at financial freedom and investing, it's really not enough without going into insanely high yields to generate a lot more income. I feel like this split, if I had more funds to put into this speculative portfolio, I would probably split it 50-50. So we could see that if we did $50,000 into HHIS, and then we do $50,000 into HDIV, and we'll take a look and see how that looks. It's going to be a lot lower income. So dividends drop down to about 19,500. So we definitely lose some income there. However, this would be a much more balanced approach, I would say. But because we were tilting that income to the higher end, I would go 75 HHIS and 25 HDIV. With that split on a $100,000 investment, you're looking at about $2,000 a month in my opinion, sustainable, reliable income from those two funds. Again, you guys, just a speculative portfolio. So let me know your thoughts below. $100,000. It's hard to really create a very diversified portfolio when you're looking for strictly income with that much money. But, there's a lot of different ways that you could build out a portfolio. However, that's probably how I would do it is 75% HHIS, 25% HDIV if I was only limited to $100,000 today. I hope everyone out there had a great week. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there, you guys, and I will catch everyone on the next video.